is family oriented. We're trying to make a family.
Hello and welcome back to the MTG Rundown. I don't know if any of that's going to be used in the cold open, but I hope it is.
God, I hope not.
So the only thing coming out next month is the Doctor Who pre-cons. So
Nothing too, like, it's all very thematic around Suspend and historic cards and stuff like that, which is cool. I didn't see anything that was like big breakout. This is going to be the new staple in everything or anything like that. But like it all seems pretty inoffensive.
Yeah.
Some good stuff in there, stuff we'll see play, but nothing that's like, it's a good commander set because I didn't see a single card where I was like, that's going to break Legacy.
So instead of talking about a set we know literally 4 cards from, we decided we're going to do at least banned and restricted predictions / wish list.
Right.
Yep.
Stuff that we would like to see change up formats.
Because in the next few weeks, Wizards is going to potentially release we've just released a set, and here are the bans that needs to / might happen because they changed the way that bans are going to be working.
Yeah.
I think we just kind of started with like standard and just work down the format list.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Right.
So, I mean, standard, I feel like no changes at all in there. It's
pretty
fun,
much.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that's really... I am very clearly the best deck in the format, and like every single top 16 has 12 copies of me.
I mean, besides like Shieldred needing a ban, but they won't.
No.
And I'll also still probably argue against a Shieldred ban. Sorry,
Right.
everybody.
She is very heavily played, but like it's not like you can't fight the card.
That's the like I would
no inherent protection, anything like that. It's just like if you happen to not draw an answer, you die to it.
I am sympathetic, but also this standard has like the best removal.
Right. Cobblade, this is not.
Right,
Like,
right.
This is not like every top 16 is 14 of this deck, and every single one of those decks is running 4 Jace.
Exactly.
Like it's not it's not that.
Right.
And it's a creature with no protection, and like you said, this is one of the most removal heavy formats.
Yeah.
So
like I don't know, pick your 2 mana removal spell and throw it at her, and she dies. Right.
although
like,
we did
it's
just
really...
get the new Beseech the Mirror, which is just Shieldred.
Oh, so you mean 8 copies of Shieldred?
8 copies of Shieldred, yeah. Incrementally make food tokens, and oh look, my food token's now 4 or 5 that kills you.
Damn.
It's that's gonna get annoying, but
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot.
right. I don't think it's gonna be anything that warrants a ban. Like it's still, if they turn 4, go grab one of their Shieldreds, you can still kill it just as easy.
Yeah.
So I don't really see any big shakeups for standard.
No, standard's fine.
Yeah.
Pioneer, however, Nykthos Stranded Nyx needs to be banned.
Yeah.
I mean, they just like hosted a high-profile tournament, and literally 6 of the 8 top 8 lists were just the mono green ramp list.
Right.
That someone named Rakdos Sacrifice.
And that's when you know that it does need to be changed.
No, yeah.
Because like unless you do get into that Splinter Twin format, the Cobblade format, where it's like every top 8 is just that. It's like that's when you're like, okay, now something needs to be done.
It's pretty rough.
And Nykthos is a good hit because it's the main player.
It's the card.
Right, like it's the main engine of what the deck's trying to do. So if you take that out, the deck is still surrounded by cool cards. It's just not going to be as explosive.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like that's all you really want to do with bans. You don't ever really want to take.
You don't want to stop the deck from existing. You just want to stop it from being the only deck you can play.
Right. Exactly.
I'm getting a little tired of the meme that is just like, oh, there's a problem with Pioneer. Green.
Yeah.
Every Pioneer band's like, oh, it's another green deck. God damn it.
Right.
But it is, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And this circles back around to the problem of Wizards needs to stop making green Wooburg and making them do literally everything better than the colors that were originally doing that thing. If you'd stop making every single green mythic the best card in the set, we would stop.
Gargroth.
Right, we would stop having these kinds of problems because, like, my big dumb green beater doesn't need to draw me cards, gain me life, make additional bodies. in the game on the spot, reduce the cost of my other stuff, let me play stuff for free. Like, y'all giving green
For 5 mana.
Right, like y'all giving green way too much. And it's just, I feel like that's like the crux of the problem is that they have this format and they just keep making good green stuff. And that's why every single ban and every single issue deck is green, because it's the only color that's getting this continual bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb, and it just never gets any better. It's just like, you get to the point where you're like, okay, I am so threat heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know what to take out for the new broken green card because I have all my old broken green cards that I really love in here.
Yeah.
And that's not where you want your game to be.
Yeah. Modern, it's, I mean, I don't know. The fucking elementals probably. I don't want them to. Please don't ban my elementals. I love them, but also like,
Right.
You should probably look at, like, I wouldn't ban Fury, but a lot of people would really like Fury to be banned.
Yeah. I feel like it's in
And
the
those
situation.
people are Elves players, by the way. Those people are Elves players,
Right.
and
If
you
you-
can stay down.
I feel like it's well, like if you hit one, like if you hit Grief, you have to hit Fury and Solitude. Like I don't feel like it's like one of those like you can only hit one kind of things, because otherwise it's just everybody just goes to the elementals that's still allowed.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna be real. I legitimately wouldn't ban any of them.
No,
I don't
no,
think
for
any
sure.
of them are ban worthy.
Right. I don't think any of them are an issue because it's 2 cards out of your hand and it's a one-time thing because it kills itself after. Like the one time is like if you're playing against the Ephemerate deck, and like that's the only time that's a like actual issue. But if it's only happening in one deck,
God, I love the Ephemerate deck. It
no,
was
for sure.
so good.
Like turn like just hey, land. Grief, Ephemerate, Grief you again. Cool, I just double thought seized you, and now I have a threat on board. Cool. You can try to play the game now that I stripped your 2 best cards out of your hand. But like outside of that one scenario, like they're fine.
Yeah.
You know, I'm saying like I don't like them, but they're almost turning into kind of like necessary evils to keep the format slightly
Right,
in
it's
check.
like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Force of Will and Legacy. Like it's just an omnipresent thing that just keeps everybody else humble.
Mm.
Like knowing that your opponent can always have Swords to Plowshares in hand
Yeah.
for free. Like just
Mhm.
at the cost of a card and a life. It keeps other things in check, like the big dumb green stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of Modern is there is no like. I mean, they can print these green bombs and
Everybody has Force of Will, or not a Force of Wills,
well,
whatever.
and like Modern just doesn't, and
Right.
Legacy just doesn't care. Because,
They have the card
like,
pool to fight it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh great,
That's really
another
cool.
big dumb thing that dies to literally any card I could possibly think of.
Right.
I just want to see them start like unbanning random cards, just see what happens. Not like the
Right.
whole side. Just pick like Ancient Den for some reason.
When
Right.
they unbanned Preordain,
Yeah.
people immediately started calling for Splinter Twin unban, which is like one of like probably like the 4 cards on that list that literally should never be unbanned ever.
Right.
It's just like,
Because, good.
sorry, it was like they just unbanned Preordain.
Yeah.
They already put one bullet in the chamber. Don't
Yeah.
give them the other
Yeah,
one.
don't give
Right.
them they handed you a bullet. Don't give them the gun, right? Like
Right.
don't
So-
do that.
It's Splinter Twin is one of those cards that suffers from reverse power creep that can never see play because they keep printing insane cards.
Yeah.
And so the Splinter Twin scales with the format.
Yeah.
So like the Super Magical Christmas Land, like the most fair use that you could see out of it is like somebody like actually plays an endurance and puts a like Splinter Twin on an endurance, and it's like you never get a graveyard ever again, and I have infinite reach blockers to kill you with.
Yeah.
That's nobody wants that. Nobody
Yeah.
wants infinite Swords to Plowshares in play.
Right. Nobody, right? Splinter Twin. I mean, I guess like you don't even have to do that. It's just like Splinter Twin, like the fucking Deceiver Exarch, and you move on with your life.
Right. It's literally just gonna be the old combo.
Pestermite, you move on with your life. Like it just doesn't matter.
Right, so it's like you go and it's just the original Splinter Twin deck. They have Preordained back, but also they have Subtlety and Fury.
And also you have the pitch elementals, right?
Right.
So even at Splinter Twin's literal worst, it's Fury.
Right.
Right,
And-
that's Splinter Twin's that's like the worst case scenario for the Splinter Twin list is their Splinter Twin is Fury and you're still fucked.
Right, like, oh man, I've developed this cool board. They don't have combo. I can go for it. Instep, pitch twin, wipe your board. You're dumb and you smell bad.
Yeah.
My turn now.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna still beat you to death with my Delver and my lightning bolts because
Right.
oh did you forget that this is just the red blue deck and we just happen to have a combo
Right.
of an infant that just
Yeah,
kills
we're
you
still-
on spot.
we're still is it control?
Yeah.
Like we still have all of the tools.
Yeah.
But with more tools
Yeah.
now. So it's I don't like
Yeah,
Splinter,
do you want
Splinter
Splinter
Twin.
Twin with Force of Negation in the format as well?
Right.
like
Like Splinter
no.
Splinter Twin doesn't need to
God.
come back.
No.
I love it. I enjoyed it when it was legal, but it's like food not food. It's like birthing pod.
Birthing Pod should get unbanned.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, it is very slow because it is
It's just consistent. That's it. I
That-
mean,
that's
it's
back whenever I guess looking at it now, yeah, the format's just way too fast for that to
it's,
care.
It's pretty fast. The deck that wants it the most is the Yawgmoth deck, and that deck is doing fine without it.
Right. So just making like a cool mid-tier deck just a little bit better is not
Yeah.
it's inoffensive.
Right.
Not
And
gonna
like-
hurt anybody.
And like Birthing Pod before, sure, it was the best deck in the format, but like 5 people could actually pilot it correctly.
Right, because turns out playing a Magic the Gathering deck where your only 4 non-creature spells are birthing pod.
Yeah.
Pretty hard.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Right, knowing what plays you're supposed to be making there. And it's just, yeah, it is a lot of mana, and it is, you have to pay life, and in a format
It's
where
3 mana
things
at
are so
sorcery
fast.
speed. 3
Right,
mana at sorcery speed. Like,
right. No, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That could come off. That'd be fine.
Maybe another one. Do you think Blazing Shoal would be safe, seeing as Infect hasn't done anything in how many years?
you could probably talk me into it.
See, I feel
I
like
would would absolutely give it like a tentative unban.
Yeah,
You know?
Right.
It definitely feels like it. I mean, it's a big dumb spell that like if you let it resolve, it kills you.
Right.
But with the amount of interaction that Modern has now,
Yeah.
it's just like,
You
oh,
just-
I don't have mana. I'll just put it back in your hand instead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the whole Gristlebrand thing. It's like it's the big dumb thing. Do you have the answer? No, I win the game. Oh, you have the answer. I lose the game.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's
the coin flip.
yeah,
like,
it's-
does my
it's-
opponent have it? The
it's
thing
fine.
happens.
I don't even think Infect would run 4 of them anymore.
No.
Like what do you like? I don't know. You want your
What do you-
venerated rot priests?
I was about to
too
say, like,
much.
what are you taking
want-
out for
yeah,
it?
like you would much rather have a bunch of little spells.
Right. It's
that
still
target your
just
dudes
low to
instead.
the ground. 1/2 drop creatures. Make your dude unblockable. Go big dumb. Mutagenic growth.
Yeah.
Vine swell. Whatever. Punch you in the face.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I think back when it was seeing play, it was like a 4 of Shoal with like 2 Progenitus
Yeah.
as the only pitch cards.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So
So-
I think it's a safe one. They're like,
Yeah.
I don't think
Definitely
it's gonna
feel
do
like
it
it's an antiquated ban. That's like it's served its purpose, and now at that point, that deck is so irrelevant that it can come off, and it's not like Infect's gonna shoot up top of the
I don't know.
meta.
I think Infect is like Burn in that like there is
It will
gonna
always be there.
Yeah, there's going to be one guy who shows up to the, to the qualifier and will probably top 8 because
Yeah.
I don't know, are you sideboarding against Burn in this
Right.
incredibly like big tournament? Probably not. Are you sideboarding against Infection this like super big like qualifying tournament? Probably not. You're sideboarding against elementals and
Right. Yawgmoth, control, elementals, like actual
Rhinos.
decks in the format.
Rhinos,
Right, like-
living end, right? Like that's what you're sideboarding against.
Actual-
You're not sideboarding against like
The one
Infect.
fringe, like 64 player tournament, one guy shows up with Infect.
Exactly, and he's gonna do all right because
Because nobody's ready for it.
exactly.
And more power to that guy.
Yeah.
But I think it could come
Unbanned
off.
Bridge from Below.
No, let's not do that one.
Hogak isn't around anymore.
Super unbanned Hogak. No.
Do not unban Hogak. Do not unban Hogak. Unbanned Bridge from Below. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, Legacy.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna start on the 2 that I think are fine, but
Yeah.
they're probably gonna catch your ban only because they're showing up in every fucking deck right now.
Yeah.
Which is Bowmaster and One Ring.
Yeah, oh
Like-
yeah. The One Ring is definitely my pick because watching all of these events and it's just some variation of like 3 to 5 color ring control. And then it ends up being a ring control mirror match. So you're just watching these two dudes not do anything to each other 5 turns in a row because they're like, all right, tap, draw 2 cards off the ring, play the ring, tap the ring, draw the other card, pass to you. And he does the exact same play pattern. And then on your turn, you're like, all right, well, my ring drew me the other ring. So tap, draw 2, play the ring, go to you. And it's so boring to watch. And it looks extremely boring and uninteresting to play as well.
So pleased with the One Ring. Like as a piece of garbage. Like Fatigue is a valid win con.
Right.
Control player. Like the One Ring is like molto bene.
It does exactly what it was designed to do. It is
which is too much.
Right. It's
just too much.
Turns out 4 mana, take an extra turn, and draw cards is just nuts. Because that's all that card says. Like your opponent doesn't get to play the game next turn. Nothing they do is going to matter.
Right.
And then you just get to have another turn.
Like it doesn't punish you for playing a 4-drop in Eternal, like, which is crazy. If you're playing a 4-drop in an Eternal format like Legacy or Modern, frankly, like that card should be winning you the game.
Absolutely. It's like Urza, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like they need to be, this is a card you have to answer now, or like 3 turns from now you're dead.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to gain so much value out of this that you're just never going to catch up.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah, but I could definitely see One Ring getting a hit.
Bowmasters, I don't know. I like Bowmasters, but the fact that it has Flash, fact that it has Flash is definitely the issue.
So, and even something I've been seeing a lot of is that it inherently shoots you for 1 on ETB. They don't have to be drawing a card. So even if it's just they move to attacks, you just flash it in, shoot something and make 1/1 dude. Even that is just insane at instant speed. And then, now that you have it on board, your opponent is punished for playing any of their ponders, brainstorms, any serum visions if you're playing against 8 casts, anything like that. Or not serum visions.
Come on.
Not serum visions.
Come on.
Thought cast and Thought Monitor. Boomer magic.
Serum visions.
Out of here. But,
that card was bad in Mirrodin.
That card was bad. But no, Thoughtcast and Thought Monitor, like they can't really play any of their dig spells after you get it out. So even like if it's just turn 2 into your turn, shoot your whatever, I have a body now, I can block. Even that is just so good. So I could see that. And I agree with you though. Giving it Flash was definitely
probably a bit too much.
It had to have the Flash for the card design to make sense because obviously they designed it to be like in response to your brainstorm or whatever, Flash in the thing. But at the same time, it's really, really good. And like Nick said, it's very ubiquitous. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Every single deck. It does your deck tap for black mana. Yes, you run Bowmasters.
And your Legacy, so
you're always running black.
Taps for black just because you can splash the 1 duel you need without with literally 0 downside.
Right. Like I guess I'll just run like the 1 scrub land and still just have 8 fetches that go get it.
Yeah.
No.
It's like I'm playing Jeskai Control. Yes, this is an Underground Sea. Don't worry about it.
Right. Right. What's that for? It's a little surprise for later.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see those out of the Lord of the Rings set. Like, at least getting looked at. Like, not saying I want them banned, but I can definitely see them heavily considering those to be big movers in the format and, like, deciding where they want the format to go based on if they decide to keep or remove those cards.
Also, the other thing that's kind of against it is, like, if it said just shoot a player, it would probably be a safe card. The fact that it can hit anything is where it starts to, where it's like, oh, hey, you're on elves, you no longer play the game. Oh, you're playing goblins? No.
Yes.
Right, like anything like that. Like, it's even good against Delver, because it's like, end of your turn, you played, like, Delver DRC, cool, play my dude, shoot your Delver, next turn, play another one, shoot your DRC, I have this, like, big wall, you can't play your draw spells now. It's good against a lot of decks in the format. It shoots a lot of things.
It's good against every deck in the format. Like,
right.
I play Reanimator and I have to worry about seeing that fucking thing pop up because suddenly it's like, oh shit, I just like looting. And now they have a 3/3 blocker, and I'm getting punched in the face. God damn it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's probably the best card they've made for Legacy, which is probably why it's going to be banned in Legacy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Hey, Nick. How do you feel about mechanics developed by
here we
Sheldon
go.
Mannery?
Oh, I just love them. They're just the best mechanic.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
The initiative is the best.
Yep.
Is the best mechanic in the game.
This is
and
the
I'm
vintage segment, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that the initiative exists. And every time I watch Legacy or Vintage gameplay, there's always the threat of the one dude playing the one card that introduces the initiative, and then it takes over the entire game, and then you die to the trap room.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you looked
Every single time.
Have you currently looked at like the vintage metagame?
I do not look at the vintage. I gotta be honest.
Enlighten us.
The vintage boat sailed 10 years before I was born.
That's fair. That's fair. As somebody who does not own any of the Power 9.
Yeah,
I'm good.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. The current top vintage deck is Mono White Initiative. It is just the original White Initiative deck.
It's just the Legacy initiative.
Yep. All they did was they just moved in some Power 9 to make it even more consistent, and it is now the best deck in the format.
Mono White Initiative with Moxes and Soul
Yeah.
Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you can just do turn 1 adventure, turn 2 hit you,
Right.
I'm off to the races, you can't play the game anymore.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, just turn 1 Lotus White Plume. Have fun not playing the game, I guess.
Yeah. What is it? When Vintage Dredge is dropping out of favor, there's a fucking problem.
Right. And I just feel like that's just it's mostly a design issue with how they introduce these things, because if you're going to introduce a mechanic for a multiplayer format, you need to keep it locked in that multiplayer format. Not every single thing from a niche set, from like a side set, like a commander set or something like that, needs to go into eternal formats. Nobody would have complained if they would have said, here's the cool cards from Commander, Baldur's Gate, here's all these cool initiative cards. Every card with initiative on it is banned in eternal formats. You can play with the rest of the cards, but you can't have those specific cards because those were not play tested for 1v1s with Power 9.
It's so funny. I remember this guy saying cards should be, they should be tested for all formats that they can be played in.
Isn't that wild?
If you're making new mechanics, they should be tested for every format that they're going to be played in.
Right. The Monarchy initiative.
Sheldon. It's so interesting that one of the biggest threats to the eternal formats is just this one little side mechanic from Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. Sheldon.
Right. It's like, because like you look at it, Canlander, best deck, initiative. Like you were saying, Vintage, best deck, initiative. Legacy pre-ban, best deck, initiative. And even after the ban, some people still run an initiative. Like
Red Green Initiative is still kicking around. It's doing okay.
Yeah, like it's still a deck. It can still compete with Delver and Reanimator and these other like actual titans of the format.
But you're right, Sheldon. Elish Norn
is the issue.
Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, needs to be banned in Commander before release. You're absolutely correct. I totally agree with you. I'm not being sarcastic.
Thank you for saying that, because he probably wouldn't have picked it up.
My question is like, how do you even fix the initiative and vintage problem, because they don't ban cards there?
No.
So are they just have to say, all right, we're
limit
just
them all to
restricting
one.
every copy that says initiative to limit 1?
Yeah.
And even then, like, the problem's still there in a format where you have access to every good tutor in the game and every piece of fast mana in the game. You're still going to have the same issue. It's just not going to be a guaranteed that you have it all the time. But, like, initiative is still going to be there. And I guarantee you, even if you restrict it to 1, since they can still run the cards, they're still going to be the best cards in the format. Because it is so insanely unbalanced in a 1v1 scenario. In a format where you get to decide if your opponent has creatures or not, a mechanic that can only be exchanged through combat damage is insane, especially when the payoff is I get free mana, card draw, lava axe you, and then I get to look at my top, 6 or 8 or something, and then put a dude into play 3/1/1 counters hexproof. It's just like by the time you get there, you're normally dead anyway because they've already made the mana, drawn the cards, hit you for 5, all while still maintaining a board control.
Also dealing combat damage. Yeah.
Right. And even if you do take it from them, they get to keep their progress where they were so that next turn, when they solitude your creature and bap you back, they just back to business as usual. It's such a poorly designed and balanced mechanic that it should have stayed in the set that it came in. It should have just stuck in Commander where, it's fine. Everybody gets to fight over it. And then it's the big whole cool social political thing, whatever. It should have never seen any Eternal play because that's not what it was meant for. It horribly designed, right up there with Phyrexian mana, in my opinion. Like just things that should have never existed.
Whoa.
Oh, Phyrexian mana is silly, and you know it. I know you like it, but that doesn't make it okay for the game.
But it's so good, though.
That's the problem. Is that it's so good. You should not have.
It feels so good.
Gitaxian Probe.
So bad.
Like,
no, okay.
Like
listen.
Gitaxian.
What? Okay. Cards. Hold on. You're right. 1 mana Phyrexian spells are indeed bad. However, the second you get 2 mana and up, they're fine.
Oh yeah, like Dismember's fine. Like I'm fine.
Nope. No. Not what I said. Not what I said. Sorry. Not what I meant. Sorry.
I was about to say.
Sorry.
Pay 2 mana.
Sorry.
That's what I thought.
Sorry.
I just wanted to call you out there.
I mean, no. Sorry. I mean, right. They still have
like
a colored pip in them, right? You
right.
still have to pay a color of mana, right? It's a Phyrexian mana and then still another color of mana.
Right. Or at least like if it's a lot of mana.
The Planeswalkers. The Phyrexian Planeswalkers are fine. Okay,
right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Or like Birthing Pod because it costs 3 mana.
Right?
Like that's also fine.
That's
but,
also okay. But no, Birthing Pod and Mental Misstep
are not the same card.
And Mutagenic Growth and Noxious Revival.
Get Probe.
Yes, those cards should not exist ever. However, if it's like, say, a Phyrexian green and another green, then
right.
Fine.
Like if you're paying 4 life and 5 mana for your spell, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
Like that's
go for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't, but the problem was that whenever they introduced it, they just so happened to put it on some insane cards, and then they
also Dismember is okay. Okay, all right. Like Dismember is fine.
Yeah, like if you're paying 4 life to not get punched for 5, like I'm fine with that.
Yeah, 4 life.
Like they have
plus a mana too. Like you're still paying 1.
Right. Like if they have their big dumb Bowmaster's token or Construct or whatever, and you pay the life to kill it so it doesn't end you next turn whenever they combo off and do even more shenanigans and make it bigger. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But it's really just like Mental Misstep, Get Probe, Noxious Revival, like those kind of cards that was just, they set the bar too high whenever the first made it, because like the first set of cards was just silly.
They definitely did not, when they play tested those cards, they definitely did not put them in decks that were not running those. Right? They clearly all of those cards were just in
Gitaxian
blue decks.
Yeah, Gitaxian Probe only goes in blue decks.
Exactly.
Gitaxian Probe goes in every single deck because there's no downside. It's just pay 2 life, I get to see your game plan, and I draw a card. If Get Probe didn't say draw a card on it, I wouldn't care. But the fact that Get Probe says you also get to draw a card, or if it was just draw a card, and I don't get to look at your hand.
No, it cannot say draw a card.
No,
it cannot say draw a card. I will pay 2 life to draw a card. I will pay 3 life to draw a card.
There is a reason.
Literally any day of the week.
There is a reason that Yawgmoth's Bargain is banned in a lot of things, because it turns out just life for cards is
correct. Like
Gristlebrand.
I do not care. I will pay all of the life to draw cards.
Right.
And they know it.
Yeah. And
I think we're concluding here because now we're
Yes,
starting to get
now
a
we're
little
just
weird.
yeah.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
for sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't see a lot of big shakeups. Like I think I think the biggest thing that could happen would be the One Ring getting hit. I don't think they're gonna hit boat masters yet, but I could see them hitting the One Ring just because it's everywhere and it just leads to boring staring contest play patterns. Like at least Bowmaster kills you.
Yeah.
And ends games and progresses the board state as opposed to I play the One Ring. Well, I play the One Ring. Well, I play the One Ring. And then just like nothing happens for 8 turns. So I could see them hitting the One Ring because it's really good and the thing that it promotes isn't fun or engaging. So like I think that's really the only spicy thing that I can see.
So we're thinking what? Standard nothing.
Pioneer,
hoping for Nykthos.
God, Nykthos.
Yeah. Modern, maybe an unban or two rather than more.
I would rather see an unbanned than a ban in Modern.
Legacy, Vintage, Initiative, and probably Lord of the Rings cards.
And, Initiative and yeah. Quick question. Yeah. Any particular cards from Wilds of Eldraine that you've liked seeing pop up in various formats? Because like Knight of Sweet's Revenge is like kind of killing it in Modern right now. It's shocking. It's shocking. Like that card made Academy manufacturer playable in Modern. It's super fun seeing the Asmo food deck actually like
pop
do
off.
Shit. Yeah, it's really fun.
That's good. I haven't really been seeing too much like in our local play groups pop up. Every single time I have cast Decadent Dragon though, it has slapped because it always hits a bomb, and it also always helps that I like triple twin cast the adventure side.
Yeah, of course, sure.
And then having Mirrorman play to get to other degenerate commander things. But like, there's definitely cards that I want to see be good, like the Druid. I can't remember its name. The Gruul Druid.
Oh yeah. Questing Druid.
Yeah, Questing Druid. I just like that card, and I just want to see it do something.
Yeah.
Look, I haven't really seen anything.
No Agatha's Cauldrons or anything.
Kill on sight. Like somebody resolves it, and then I just kill them, and then the game's over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Like
Agatha's Cauldron also doing really cool things. In,
right.
In Modern. Yeah.
It's the thing where it's like they play it, and then it's like, oh, cool, you are now the threat. I have to kill you so that I can progress the game.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Right. I haven't got to see it do anything yet, but that is by design.
I just wanted to give Wild of Eldraine a little.
It's a good set.
Beseech the Mirror is putting in.
Beseech the Mirror is putting in work.
But that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that 4 mana, go grab the best card out of your deck.
I don't know. I will say it started at like $15 and is now like $35. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like it definitely was not initially.
Where do you think it'll peak? Like where do you think it's gonna plateau?
$40, and then it's gonna like lose like the new card allure and be played in fewer things, except in the decks that is absolutely needed, and it'll probably like fall down to around 30.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like 35, 45. Yeah. Like it's just gonna bounce between that range, depending on how much play it's seeing at that moment in time. Like if it's a 4 of in every deck in the top 8, it'll be more towards like the 45, 50 range, and then whenever the new deck comes out and people are doing the other thing, it'll drop back down to like 35. But I don't think it'll drop.
No, it's rock solid. The decks that really want it are always going to have it.
Right. It's one of those cards that they design, and then now moving forward, every card that they design has to keep that in mind, because it's like, well, we made this big dumb thing with a lot of downside, and it's very hard to get out. Or you can just pay 4 mana and sacrifice a treasure, and boom, he's there. He is.
It's the Stoneforge Mystic problem. Where now every equipment they make has to like account for Stoneforge Mystic.
Right. Karn. The creator is like, well, I can just go grab whatever colorless shenanigans I want out of my sideboard. So every single colorless card that gets printed, you have to keep that in mind. It's always in your hand at all points in time. Yeah, it's that thing. But I think it's good. Yeah, Wilds of Eldraine's performing very well.
Good set. Didn't break anything, which I'm thankful for.
I know. Yeah. All right.
No Okos.
That's it.
Thank you.
Go home.
What are you still doing here?